Well, hello there. Welcome once more to Contro's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, I would like to say a very warm welcome to you. It is Ghana month. Yes, we've entered the month of March, and the 6th of March is Ghana's Independence Day. So this month, I intend to share with you some amazing Ghanaian recipes. And today, we are going to be making Kenkey with some fried seafood. Kenkey, or Nkrandakono as we call it in my part of Ghana, is very popular on the streets. You can find it at any time, pretty much around the clock. So if you want it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, even at midnight, you're sure to find it. And it's served with a variety of proteins, just like the ones I have here. You can have it also with pork, chofi, so many other ways to enjoy your Kenkey. It is going to be a mother-daughter affair, and so Mama is the one making the Kenkey whilst I take care of the protein part. And to start, she's going to prepare the banku. So the banku is going to be made with some fermented corn dough, that is mori. She's added a little bit of cassava dough, banchimori, and then she's made a mixture, and now she's going to cook it until it thickens. So pretty much like banku. Mama has a recipe where she takes you through Kenkey our way. I'm going to link it here for you just so you make reference to it. She's making today's a different way. This is how we make it when we want to make our Kenkey and eat it right away. So then, of course, she has mixed it to be a little bit thicker, and so she intends not to make it all the way cooked and then have to add fresh corn dough to it, uncooked corn dough. So with this, it is cooked as soon as, ready to be wrapped as soon as your banku is formed. So pretty much at this point, we are ready to transfer our prepared banku, our semi-cooked banku, into another bowl to cool off a little bit before we wrap. The mixture at this point pretty much looks like if you had made your banku cooked all the way and added some raw cornmeal to it. So pretty much the same, but of course not authentic, but it works. You'll see at the end that our Kenkey looks pretty good and it tastes delicious when we make it this way. So we are going to go ahead and transfer all our banku, let it cool off a little bit where she can handle it, and then we are going to wrap it in our corn husk. I like Kenkey with some fried octopus or pusina, so I'm going to be preparing some. So I have 3 whole ones here that I got from the Asian market. I am going to just get it really cleaned and then ready to fry. I also have a very detailed video where I clean up some octopus and fry it. It's an old video, but it works. I'm not really going to show you all the way through or talk you through this because the video will be too long. But if you really just pay attention by watching this, you pretty much get a hang of how it is done. But otherwise, I'll also link that video for you where you can really reference it and get a perfect fried octopus.
More chicken, please.
There's no more.
So you're saying you only make 2 chickens, Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
What are you? Octopus?
Mm-hmm. So now I've pretty much removed every part that is not needed in our octopus and discarded it. And for you to have a beautiful fried octopus that looks delightful and perfect, you want to remove the membrane or skin around it so that when you fry it, it's not looking dark but very, very beautiful. And the easiest way to do this is to pour some boiling water over your octopus, let it sit for just a little bit. The intent is not to cook it, but to help remove the membrane easily. And so I'm just turning it around so that the hot water touches every part. Now I'm going to bring it into the sink, pour the hot water off, and then go ahead and start peeling using the help of some cold water running on it as well. Very easy. And yes, so all this pinkish part, pretty much if you leave it on and you fry it, your meat is going to have black spots or very dark browns on it. And normally fried octopus comes out looking a little bit orangey and really, really bright and delightful. That is what you want to achieve. So it is really worth trying to get this step taken care of so you have beautiful fried octopus. Posenano, I was say ya kono oh sa. When say fear had ye didi a ye pese de ye di no. E bo when so pene je say uhu ya na wo kondo. We always delight in making sure that the food that we serve really is pleasing to the eye. So as soon as you see it, your eyes are already eating, and so of course it definitely has to enter your mouth one way or the other. That is our superpower around here. Okay. Yes, it's a little bit of a chore, and so for me, every time I have to fry some octopus, I don't make anything less than 3. Okay, I make like quite a little bit of a batch, and then once it's fried, it stores beautifully in the freezer, so you can have it in the freezer, bring it out whenever you want to eat it, and warm it. Oh yes, cleaning your tentacles is the easiest part in cleaning your octopus. You just rub your fingers down it and the membrane just comes off super easy. So whilst I'm doing this, Mama is also busy wrapping her Kenkey. She's pretty much almost done. And so once we are done with that, we are going to transfer it into a pot and start cooking it. Yes, I enjoy these moments where we do things together because you never finish learning from your mom. And every now and then I have a tip that she also happily takes from me. And that for me is everything. If you're wondering, Mama is in Ghana at the moment. This was filmed all the way back in October, I should say. And yes, I have some fish ready to fry. It is huge, very huge. This is part of the fish that we got from Mexico a while back. Yes, we got a ton of fish, very fresh, wild caught straight from the sea. And so we just brought them all here. And the one thing I'm not so pleased about is the fact that I have to clean my fish myself every time I have to cook it. We bought a ton of fish. And in as much as I wished I could have cleaned everything before freezing it, I probably would have taken a whole day, even with Mama helping, to finish cleaning the amount of fish that we brought home. So no, we froze them right away. We just bagged them, and every time we need to cook it, we just bring it out, clean it, and then just season it and fry. And of course, it's a lot of work. But I found myself this tool on Amazon that helps to remove the scale. It's like very good to use. But then of course you have scales everywhere after you're done, and the cleaning part, I really do not like it. But what can I do? So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the scales and clean my fish inside out, get everything off, the guts and everything that are still remaining. Even though they took some out already, you can see that the throat part is already open. So just so the fish doesn't decompose on our drive back with it. But yes, this fish is so delicious, and the fact that it is not farm raised, you really see them bringing it out of the ocean and you put it on ice and bring it, that is everything for me. And the meat, you can taste the difference when you eat it. That is all I can say. So fish is all clean now. I have transferred it into my chopping board, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it up for frying. First, of course, you have to remove the tail fins. And yes, very typical Ghanaian, I'm trying to eyeball, try to just map up where I'm going to make the cuts, trying to see how many pieces I can get out of it before I really go ahead and cut it. Comment if you haven't done this before. If you're Ghanaian and you've never tried doing this whilst cutting up your meat, are you really Ghanaian? Are you really Ghanaian? I was say a Joe Ghana card. For Ghana card and a brass is here. Fabra. Yes, you can see it is a huge fish, and so the portions that I am actually cutting out of it, they are huge. I don't think the camera really captures it well, but even these portions were like just too much for one person to eat. And coming from me, but coming from me, you should know that it must be true. If I am saying something is too big and a piece of meat is too big, then it must really be too big. But I didn't want it to be too thinly sliced or cut. So, the pieces, they were very heavy. If a piece falls on a chick, we are so say trauma, they say trauma but we did me fish, one piece will kill the mom, the chicken's mom, mother hen. So now that I've cut up my fish, I'm also going to cut up my cleaned octopus as well. I want it to be in big pieces. I like to fry it in big pieces. I'd rather cut it up after frying than to have it fried in tiny pieces. I don't know if you get me, but it makes your whole frying process also a little bit faster, and the end result looks more attractive if they are in nice portions. Oh, you say anything to say the udru ya Mransan Junction na omo enam no eni dokono no. Oh, say when you boss you just want a piece of it. So yeah, I'm not selling it, but I want to tempt myself like that, which unfortunately is not good. So anyway, everything is cut up, and now I'm just going to season with some salt, a little bit of black pepper, which I think is not so traditional. Maybe just salt. They probably just dip it in salt water, but I want it to be a little bit, anything I'm cooking it at home, so I can choose to do whatever I want to do with it. The most important thing is you don't deviate too much from what is the norm. What I say. Yempeduani bi I say udi a wunhu so kai and kai we are minute so I minute. No, you can tweak it just a little bit, and it's perfect. So now I'll set this aside and season my fish as well. So I'm going to add some salt and a little bit of black pepper, just a little sprinkle, and then I'm going to go in with some onion powder. You don't want to put too much, but you want your fish to have a little bit of flavor as well. A little bit of garlic powder and some Old Bay seasoning. I just love the flavor it brings on your fish, but you don't want to overdo it. And so now I'm just going to rub all these spices or seasonings on my fish. Make sure that my fish is very coated with it. And then I will set it aside to marinate a little bit and work on my shrimp as well. Ideally, you want to give it about 30 minutes to an hour so everything really sits well overnight. And you know what I say, it will be banging. But this is going to work as well. Just give it a little bit of time and your fish, you will not have enough of it. And no, not so the tail part I actually made incisions on it because it's a little bit longer. The other part, once I just let them be because I think the pieces are good enough that it's going to cook through. And so yes, I'm going to set this aside to marinate for at least half hour before we fry. Now we're going to go ahead and fry the fish. So I have my pan on fire. I'm adding some vegetable oil. And even before I let it start actually heating, I'm going to be adding some garlic cloves. So I will add 2 cloves of garlic, 1 habanero, and then some rosemary as well, 3 sprigs of that. I'm just going to let this warm up to make my oil very fragrant so my fish is even nicer that way. And whilst that is heating up, I'm going to work on my shrimp. So these are jumbo shrimp, colossal if you should call it, and also straight from the shore. I'm going to just trim it, clean it. Yes, it came with the heads off, so not very typical gun accessory ayachi, but then it works. So I'm just going to, of course, remove the vein. I'm just showing you just once here, and then I'll do the rest. Yes, the vein is the guts of your shrimp, so you want to remove that. That's actually the bile, the poop. So, which we didn't know. Typically, we don't do this back home, but yes, that is what I've learned. And so, especially with these huge ones, I really cannot just look at it and eat it without removing the veins. So yes, that is what I do. And then once it's all done, it's ready to fry. And speaking of ready to fry, our oil is hot and it's time for us to fry our fish. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour on my fish. Yes, you want a little bit of dusting on that. I like my fish fried this way. So just a little bit, not too much. You could also just sprinkle the flour in your oil and it will also work. So I'm just rubbing it, make sure the flour coats my fish, and then I'm going to transfer it to the oil to fry. So whilst the fish fries, I'm going to focus on my shrimp again, get it all cleaned up and ready to fry as well. And yes, it is a lot of work doing that as well. But what can you do when you want to enjoy something so good? You know, everything pays, I should say. And yes, I did mention this was filmed way back ago, somewhere late October. Mama has actually been in Ghana since Thanksgiving Day, and we were able to go to Ghana for the New Year. So we did see her. So we miss her, but not too bad. She's home in Ghana enjoying the company of her siblings, children, nephews and nieces, grandchildren. You know, she is a hot commodity, okay? Maybe obeko biano. Just a this one for so on such you cannot have enough of her to spread around. So right now she is in Ghana spending time in my sister's house with my brother's family and then in her own home and all. So yes, we miss her, but it will be a while and she'll be here. So say, Mama, hello. I think she's going to be happy to see that. And yes, fish, I'm about to burn it. So here I am trying to just flip them, make sure that they are, frying on the other side as well. It smells amazing in here. I promise you, said, no. And that promise is coming true because the aroma is coming out. Oh, you just want to eat it even now that it's still frying. But of course, we have to be patient. And so I'm just going to turn everything and let the other side cook. And I'm going to refocus on seasoning my shrimp. So here we have our shrimp all washed and drained a little bit so it doesn't have too much water on it. And now I have added some salt. The only seasoning on this is going to be some salt. I'm just going to toss it, just get the salt really coating it. And then once the fish is done, shrimp is going to go in the oil as well to fry. Our fish is perfectly fried, and yes, it is a kind of snapper. I forgot, I don't know if I did mention that. So it is really beautifully fried, and I'm going to just take it out of the oil. I'm placing them on a plate lined with paper towel so that it's able to just blot some of the oil. Yes, or you could also use a colander, sonnier, to just drain some of the oil, but I prefer using the paper towel for this one. And so I'm going to just get everything onto the plate and then we can go ahead and fry the shrimp. So fish is fried, set aside, and now I'm going to fry my octopus. And in frying different kinds of fish using one oil, you really want to figure out which one should go after the other because some of the fish release some juices that tend to make your oil discolored. And so you want to make sure that you fry from the ones that will dirty your oil less, from the less to the ones that will make it more. I don't know if it makes any sense. And that is what I typically try to do so that at the end of the day, my oil, even if I'm going to discard afterwards, it's good. It's good to fry everything that I intended frying for that day. But this oil is perfect to make some shito just for my house, because we have no allergies in all these ingredients here, the fish, the octopus, or anything. So very fragrant and flavorful. So of course we're not even going to throw it away. We will definitely make some good shito with this later on. Octopus beautifully fried, golden. You see that? No black patches on it because I made it a point to remove all the skins. And so now it's very well cooked and ready to come out of the oil as well. Just look at that. Yamasa dear kramba. beautiful. It looks just like the ones you would find on the market, just that those are bigger, so of course the meat is thicker. But otherwise, oh, the taste, the look, everything, perfect, perfect, perfect. If I'm not going to earn a hajia from cooking some authentic wachi and tizet, you definitely cannot withhold Auntie Kwanchua. And I say, Mimpem Fancy Dimbi Krama Mehu, Udrawa, that's mama's name. I could easily be Efia Fochua, Efia Sanwa, Efia Mensima. All these are my auntie's names, by the way. So you know what? I already have that fancy in me. So you definitely just have to give me the accolades, okay? So once the octopus is fried, you can see that the juices that just seeped out of it settles in the oil and just clumps up together. It is very easy for you to filter that out before you fry your next batch. This way you end up with, your batch that you're frying after the first one, not picking up all that residue and clinging to it, making it distasteful. You can actually use a strainer like the one I had, or just pick the whole oil and try to filter it out and then pour it back, clean your pan and pour it back in there to fry. Whatever way will work for you, try to filter the oil so your next batch comes out beautiful, just like this one is looking. Okay, please. Thank you. And yes, now you want to filter your oil again before you fry the shrimp. So imagine if I had fried the shrimp or the octopus before the red snapper. Definitely it would have just made my oil just, giving me too much work for no reason. At least I got to fry one that I did not have to filter my oil before I deal with all this. So now shrimp goes in here as well. And oil very hot the whole time, it's just frying. I did not turn down the flame even whilst I was filtering it. I just lowered it. And so I'm just going to fry my shrimp until golden, and then we will be all set. All we need to do is to make our peppers. Kenkey actually is cooking in the outdoor kitchen. I forgot to let you know. So Mama just came in and said it is almost ready. And so now she's just getting some tomatoes and peppers out of the fridge so we can start making the pepper to go with it. First batch of our shrimp beautifully fried at this point, and I'm just going to bring it out of the oil so I can fry the next batch, and pretty much my work here will be done. And now I get to see the end of all this fry that I've been doing. I'm frying the very last batch of my shrimp. I am excited because my bread, which is maybe to show. Yeah, I did not show you the splatters, but of course when you fry shrimp, you get a little splatters going around. And so shrimp is going to be fried to perfection, and then everything will be done. Mama at this point has already started making the peppers because her job is done. Kenkey is cooked. It has been brought in at this point. As I am taking this out, she's already taking some kenkey out. To put the size of these shrimp into perspective, I can tell you you can get about 3 to 4 bites out of one. That should tell you how huge they are. And now the kenkey tuning process is going on, as I said. Yes, Mama is getting the kenkey out of the pot into our serveware. And now look at all this gorgeousness, all these yummies that I have made, the fried seafood, everything looking delightful. And all the variety of peppers to go with it, some sliced onions. Yes, and here comes the kenkey to join the party. It is a kenkey feast, chop kenkey, feel irate. I know you want to be here with us. I really wish I could have you here with us, but I hope this inspires you to make something like this, especially during this month for our motherland, okay? Do it and enjoy with your family and friends. I know for sure they are going to enjoy it, and above all, they will be super thankful. To be honest, this entire ensemble here, this meal spread, is a true conversation starter, okay? You serve them a good taste of home like this, it just brings sweet memories. So You have one family member or friend going like, do you remember that Kenkey joint here? The people will be talking about different Kenkey houses. Then we switch to watch a joint. Then we switch to some rocks and Eguemi and Eblayo and whatever. It's just going to be talks about street food, switch to other things. I hope you have some delightful sobolo or pineapple ginger to wash it down. And maybe hopefully once you're done eating, you will play some games of Owari, Snake and Ladders, Ludo, and the likes. Well, I'm almost done fixing my own plate and I'm super excited to just sit down and enjoy this meal. Thanks so much for doing this with us. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Kwanchua, and making simple and replicable family meals like this is what truly makes my heart happy. And I hope you subscribe to my channel for more of such videos. Now just look at the Kenkey. Just look at that. Soft, stretchy, just delicious. This is perfection. Oh yeah, let's dig into the octopus as well. Thanks so much for watching. Kindly give me a thumbs up and share. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.